Good evening. I'm Anitra Steele, the chair of the Forums Committee. Welcome to our forum for the Hickman Mills School Board. This forum is sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Kansas City, Jackson, Clay, and Platte counties, the South Kansas City Alliance, and Alpha Kappa Alpha Advocate for Social Justice Initiative of chapters Beta Omega and Psi Tau Omega. This forum is recorded and available on the League's webpage, lwvkc.org, and on YouTube. The League of Women Voters is a trusted grassroots, nonpartisan organization whose members do the hands-on work to safeguard democracy. While we neither endorse nor oppose candidates or political parties, we are directly involved in sharing the important issues. Our mission is to empower voters and to defend our democracy. We envision a democracy where every citizen has the knowledge, the right, the desire, and the confidence to participate. Our membership is open to everyone. I'd like you all to know the other League members volunteering with me. Stephanie Revels is our timekeeper, and our Zoom is monitored by Janelle Shu. The public has sent in the questions via the League's website. Tonight, we welcome our moderator, Carol Cowles. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm Carol Coles. I'm delighted to join you for the candidates for the forum for the Hickman Mills School District. The Board of Education is a volunteer representative body elected by registered voters of the local public school district. The board governs the school district and provides leadership and advocacy for public education. School boards make decisions in the best interest of the entire district. They serve a 3-year term. Tonight, we'll be hearing from 5 candidates running for school board. Forums last approximately 90 minutes. I'll ask each candidate the same question, selected from those submitted by the public. The order of candidate responses has been determined by a random rotation. Each candidate will be given 90 seconds to respond to each question and 2 minutes for a closing statement. All the candidates running for these seats have been invited. We welcome the candidates participating in tonight's forum. Candidates, please answer the question asked and stick to the topic. There will be no rebuttals, but you may go back to an issue during your 2-minute closing remarks. Are we ready? Shall we begin?
Absolutely.
All right. Our first question is, please introduce yourself and give us your qualifications to serve on the school board, especially your experience managing large budgets. And the first candidate to answer will be April.
Well, hello. My name is April Cushing, and qualifications. I've been in the community I grew up here, and I've been active for the last 25 years in community events. I've been on the board before and was very active before. I was on the finance committee before and helped with out of the box thinking to try and come to solutions then. And hopefully we can continue and make a great district coming up.
Thank you. Matthew, you're next.
Good evening. I'm Matthew Williams. I am from the area as well. I graduated 2000 from Ruskin High School. Grew up in the Grandview portion of the Hickman Middle School District. Currently, I'm a practicing attorney here in Kansas City. As far as dealing with large budgets, both at my time with Skywalker, which is one of the communications companies, subsidiary, excuse me, of a marketing firm called Z5, as well as through numerous social organizations I've been a part of over the years, dating back, ironically, all the way back to before high school and middle school. I have handled large budgets, large conferences, and of course, unfortunately, sometimes those businesses that I've worked with on the corporate side of the law have needed to deal with sort of massive budgetary crises, and I've been able to help see them through those situations as well. Negotiation is, of course, more of my specialty than anything else, and that's the thing I bring most to the district: the ability to calmly, rationally, reasonably handle negotiations, despite whatever personal belief or passion I may have about the subject. I try to make sure we're seeing all options and taking care of all things.
Thank you. I just want to interject. If anyone needs the question repeated, I'm happy to do that. Irene, you're next.
Good evening. My name is Irene Kendrick. I have served on the Hickman Mill School Board since 2020. My leadership roles there were vice president and president and co-president during my tenure there. I currently definitely work with the budgets with our school district, along with I am the treasurer for the VFW 8100 auxiliary, that I am the bonded treasurer for that. So I'm very versed in budgets. Excuse me, in budgets. I also serve on the CAC board, which also we have to manage the budget there with our Community Assistance Council. So I'm very active in the community. I've lived in Grandview, Hickman Mill School District. I attended school in the Hickman Mill School District, raised my children, and now currently raising my 3 grandchildren in the Hickman Mill School District.
Thank you. Byron?
Thank you. First off, I'm a retired letter carrier. I moved into the district in 1992. Father of 4, husband for 33 years now. I've had 1 graduate from Hickman, 2 graduates from Ruskin, and 1 senior this year. As far as my qualifications, I've been on the school board for a total of 10 years, 4 previously and now 6 consecutive years. I've held the title of president, vice president. I'm an incumbent seeking re-election. As far as outside of the school board handling big budgets, I've currently am the financial secretary of the local branch 30 letter carriers union, which covers all of Kansas City, several of neighboring areas, Lee Summit, Blue Springs, AOs like Carrollton, Lexington, Odessa, Pleasant Hill.
Thank you. I'm going to have to stop you there. Thank you so much. Evelyn, you're next.
Thank you. My name is Evelyn Hilda. I am from Shreveport, Louisiana. I've been in Kansas City for like 45 years. I'm retired from Sprint Corporation, where I managed over 500 reps at that company. Due to downsizing, I came into the district in 2002 as a substitute teacher. And to be honest, I've been doing that since 2002, and I really enjoy what I do. I'm also a former school board member. I served in 2016 to 2019, where I led the Education Accountability Committee. That is the committee that makes sure that we're doing things right by our children. And so what I did, I implemented a reading program at 3 of the schools that we had in the district, which was Ingalls, Symington and Warford to get kids to the level where they needed to be. Again, as far as the budget, that's what school board members do. They oversee large budgets. And so I was a part of that as well. But we also had committees that would actually bring the information back to us, and we would oversee what they were bringing in to us to make sure that we always stayed on top of the fund balance. Again, I've been in Kansas City for 45 years, and I've lived in the Hickman Mills district for 35 of those years.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Byron, you'll be next, and our question is, what is your plan to help mitigate the $14 million deficit that the district is facing?
Well, that's a good question. It's really not my plan. It's the board's plan. As an individual board member, I can't just create my own plan and do it. But we have a great team going. We have a great team working. The first thing we did was we made sure that the superintendent had qualified persons working on the problem. They brought back the options, and we voted on them. So now there's nothing else to do but to make sure that we maintain that road of sustainability for at least the rest of my tenure and hopefully beyond. So outside of that, I can't really do anything by myself.
Thank you. Evelyn, your response?
Sure, thank you. With the $14 million deficit facing us right now, the first thing I would do is what I'm doing and have been doing is trying to push this bond so that we can get to a comfortable fund balance. I would also make sure if I'm elected to make sure that we keep a keen eye on the money before we start spending. It is important that we don't get into the single digits in the fund balance because that's when it becomes very crucial. And I would do everything in my power to work with the team so that we can make sure that we're all on the same page when it comes to the spending of the money in the district.
Thank you. Matthew?
So obviously, things change the moment you're in the position. If elected, the first thing I would want to do is take our approach from looking at the immediate shortfall and what it's impacting and take a long-term goal setting of what we actually want to achieve, let's say 10 to 15 years out, and then set up each year as a stepping stone towards 5-year milestone. One of the problems I think we have is we look at shortfalls in the interim, in the temporary, in the moment that they're occurring. And so the best way to fix the problem is say, okay, where can we make changes that are much more long-term in thinking that will actually make that work? One of those things that I think is imperative is taking a retention approach that comes from a retraining aspect. We do have to close schools clearly with Truman's closing happening. Let's not lose those teachers, those administrators, those staff members, those facilities managers. Let's repurpose what they're doing elsewhere in the district so that we're not filling those roles all over again in other places, but merely retraining folks that are already experienced with how the district works. I think that's one way that we can use to change things. Obviously, I think a lot of the short-term budgetary changes that have occurred have been great, but as Ms. Hildebrand said, it is imperative that we pass both of these questions, both the bond and levy restructure questions that are not tax increases, so that the district has a little bit more operating room to make those kinds of long-term thinking-based decisions. That's where I start at.
Thank you very much. Irene?
Can you repeat your question once more?
Sure. What is your plan to help mitigate the $14 million deficit that the district is facing?
Okay. Well, our current plan is, as a board, we are reviewing all our finances, working with our financial director, who provides us with updates at every meeting and provide us additional information. Yes, the bond will be great to have to help support our district moving forward. So my job as a board member is to ensure that we're moving forward, that we are staying on top of our budget and watching our spending. So as a board member, that is my job to oversee that.
Thank you. April.
Yes. Like Byron said, we individually can't do anything. It's a team effort, but with the administrative team and with our thinking, keeping our finger on the pulse. There's a lot more transparency now than what there had been in the short past. And I think that is really as important or more important than to watch over the funds that we do have. And yes, the bond and levy questions are very important to our current strategy.
Thank you. Evelyn, you're on deck, and the question is, what strategies do you plan to implement to help the Hickman Mills School District reach full accreditation status? I guess we'll come back to Evelyn and
Can you hear me now?
oh, sure. Yes, thank you.
Okay, she asked me to put my phone in a stable spot, so that's why I was moving around. My apologies. I don't know if you guys can see me because I can't see you, but
No, we can't see you, but we see your name.
okay, well, that's good. Can you repeat that question, please?
Sure. What strategies do you plan to implement to help the Hickman Mills School District reach full accreditation status?
Good question. Again, I work very hard and diligently in the schools for over 24 years, and it's important that at the beginning of the school year that we focus on meeting the kids where they're at, opposed to pushing the pendulum to just push them to another level. So, what I plan on doing, and I will continue to do, is work very hard with individuals that are not where they need to be. What do I mean by that? We have kids reading below level. And so, in order to reach accreditation, we have to get the children at the grade level that they need to be in order to pass accreditation. The test is given every year. However, are the kids really understanding what they're seeing? And to also, we can also prep for that. You know, they have like maybe a week of preparation to get ready. I remember years ago at Ruskin High School, this is the motto: "Are we ready?" And I think that we are, but I think we need to have a big kickoff for MAP testing to make sure that our kids are ready and prepared to pass this test so that we can become accredited. I'm having so many problems with this phone. I can't see nothing.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is.
Irene.
Yes. Could you repeat your question again?
Sure. What strategies do you plan to implement to help the Hickman Mills School District reach full accreditation status?
Okay. As a board member, my job is to ensure that our teachers and staff have the right materials and information they need to help our students. As Ms. Hildebrand mentioned, the MAP testing and things like that are instrumental in our kids maintaining their grade level or moving up to the next grade level. So, providing our teachers with the resources they need to ensure that our students can pass the test and maintain the grade that we have already made to for accreditation. So I think if we keep moving forward and ensuring that our students have the extra help that they need by providing tutoring at our schools, they do provide tutoring for our students, as well as one-on-one tutoring as well. Along with, we did have math and reading interventionists, and I hope that we are able to, once the bond is passed, to be able to bring those uh, those critical positions back so that they will help our students move forward.
Thank you. April?
Yes, the student test scores are important, but also the graduation rate, the finances of the district. It's a multifaceted problem, and we just can't concentrate on one item alone. We have to concentrate on all aspects of accreditation, be it academics, finance, graduation rate, student hours in class. It's very important not to leave out any particular area.
Thank you. Matthew?
So I think the answers have been great on the student side of things, but I think there's an element missing here. I think student achievement has been constantly increasing in the district. Obviously, graduation rates have gone up, as well as student reading and math and science scores on these testing. We want to continue that. That's not something to be left behind. But for me, it's very important that we start addressing the unfortunate realities that we deal with. We have a governor that wants to change the accreditation system from the current setup of full, provisional, and non to this grading system. We need to be preparing for that, finding out exactly what those metrics are going to be in case that does occur. We also need to be working with our partners down at the state to handle the negotiations that go on with the state when it comes to discussing these matters. Now, I'm not the only person that has heard what has gone on in past years with different people about interacting with the state. We need to change how we approach that. That means going in and truly dealing with who is our negotiation team. What is our goal setting when we speak to the state about these matters? Because it's not just the finances, it's not just the student achievement, it's not just the hours. It's how are we bringing those things to bear inside of hearings? Who is talking about those things in front of the decision makers on the process? I'm a person that has dealt with those kinds of negotiations before, and I want to bring that to this now. I think that's how we solve the problem. The student prong and the political prong working together.
Thank you. Byron?
Yes, I agree 100% with Matthew. There is a new push by the governor and the Republican majority to create a system other than what we're used to now. Our current system is a two-part system, 30% non-academic, 70% academic. Our district has garnered all the points for the non-academic side for at least the last 4 years, and slowly but surely we're moving up 2 or 3% per year on the academic side. With that said, I'm more concerned with the increasing the academic side more than 2 or 3% a year. One thing that we do know is we're increasing 2 or 3% a year. The one thing that we don't know, the unknown, is what type of grading or accreditation system there'll actually be next year. So I think we should concentrate way more on increasing the performance of our students than on trying to get a grade in a system that may not be there next year. And fortunately, Dr. Carpenter has been put on that team to help kind of create the ABC system. So we'll have a great.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Matthew, our next question is, what do you think is needed to recruit and retain high-quality teachers and staff?
I think for most teachers want to feel as if their work matters. If you're going to take the possibility of working in a district that's not fully accredited, you have to feel like you are making a difference. I think the way that we have revamped how that approach to recruitment of new teachers has gone on is great, but I think we do need to reach out more often to our area, and I do mean state of Missouri and state of Kansas, universities and colleges and their education programs, bringing them in as college students, making them available, but also working with those that have gone out to other school districts and showing them, hey, you don't have to travel an hour and a half to go teach in another school district. You don't have to spend, 2 hours in traffic every day, to get a good job. We have the funding here to give you the kind of salary you're looking for. And I think we start looking at ways we can add additional benefits that teachers want, whether that is higher classroom allowances for any supplies they buy, whether that is additional thoughts as far as summer and other vacation time periods, whether that's just simply helping out with how they approach the classroom by, as a board, making them feel like they can even come to us to talk about concerns they have and listen to those concerns. I think as a son of somebody who has retired from teaching just about 10 years ago, my mom has always taught me the importance of the administrators supporting the teachers, and the administrators can't get that done if the board isn't supporting at all levels. So it starts with us as leadership, and we have to make people feel wanted.
Thank you very much. Irene, you?
Okay. Yes, I think in creating a great work environment for our students, for our teachers. Our teachers have good morale. I think with these recent changes and deficit in our budget has taken morale down, but I know that our teachers are dedicated to our students. They they are truly dedicated to our students, ensuring that they have every opportunity afforded to them. So ensuring that our teachers and our staff are well, um, we communicate well with our teachers and our staff to ensure that if there's any problems, that they work through their union director to provide those information to the superintendent or to the board, so that if there's something that's lacking, that we may be able to provide for them, but definitely keeping our teachers motivated and keeping our good teachers. Will help support our students.
Thank you. April.
I agree with Irene that um, the work environment for the teachers is very important. We do have the Teacher of the Year, Kim Sixta, and that has really done a lot to boost morale for our district. We do still have pretty good benefits and salary. It's just um, the work environment is the most important.
Okay. Evelyn, I've had a request that you would turn on your video. Is that possible?
Trying. I'm
Yes.
doing everything in my power. When I got up to move, that means she said that she couldn't. I guess I was moving too much, and now I don't want to disconnect by trying something that I'm not accustomed to here. So I don't know what to do to get the camera back on here. I've been pushing buttons, and it's not giving me the option to do that. So I'm going to continue to try. My apologies to you guys. I don't know what I'm doing. So
not a problem. We hear you loud and clear. Would you, you're next to answer the question. Shall I repeat it?
Yeah, go ahead and repeat that for me, because I've been pushing buttons and listening at the same time.
What do you think is needed to recruit and retain high quality teachers and staff?
Good question. And I think right now, like I said, with 26 years working in the school, I think we have a lot of qualitative teachers in our schools. We want to make sure, though, the professional development that they're getting is utilized. They have lots and lots of professional development going on. And when they come back with great ideas. So the retention rate, to me, I've been there 26 years and I still see people there that's been there for as long as I've been there. I feel like the retention rate is good. In education, it's like a revolving door. But here in Hickman Mills, we've been able to maintain, our great teachers, and we need to let them know how much we appreciate them by, doing different little things. And they're doing it. I know in the elementary sector, that's the only level that I teach in, but they, give them little tokens and say, hey, thank you so much. I'm so glad to see you here, and continue on with that type of behavior. I'm just happy to keep seeing the same people. So I don't know anything that we could do any different. I know they're doing a lot of recruiting at HBCUs to match the ratio in the schools. So that's a good thing that they're doing also to bring in teachers from other states with the pleasing package that they're offering.
Thank you very much. Byron?
I can't get this camera.
Yes. For me, I'm a researcher. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find out what is the definition of a high quality teacher. And then once I get the definition, then I look at the qualities. What qualities do they have? And are those qualities competitive, good for our kids? So, some qualities are great for different districts. So we need to, go through that checklist and find out which qualities are great for our kids. Then once we define it, we know what we want. Then we can look and see what qualities are our teachers lacking. How do we instill those qualities into our teachers? How do we move them to the next level to get them to be high quality teachers for our district, not just a generic high quality teacher? So that would be my plan, is to actually research what that looks like, then put an action plan together to create and recruit those types of teachers with those types of qualities.
Thank you. Evelyn, you're on deck again, but our next question is, how will you strengthen the partnership between the school district and parents and other members of the community?
Good question. We, as a board, can hold more community engagement meetings where they can feel like they're involved with something and give them a notice as to when these meetings are going to be held. We can also have meetings at the schools. We don't have to just have everything in central office. Sometimes it's, feasible to have them in the schools where people can come in and feel comfortable in the school where their son or their daughter is in attendance with the school. Community engagement is key to our schools. And if we lose our community, what do we have? And so we got to stay in touch with them by sending mailers out, not just for elections, but keeping them updated on things. Everybody's not computer savvy. Everybody don't have computers. And so most people, they will open up their mail if it says Hickman Mills, and just keep them informed as to what we're doing and where we're at and how did we get here and how we're going to get to where we need to be. Is my camera on now? Because I can see you.
Halfway there.
Okay, I'm still working. Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. My apologies for this.
That's all right. Matthew, you're next.
Well, this is actually a great question for me. I've talked about this the whole way through. One of my things about reaching out to parents, I wanted to say that the idea for Where to Go came from a gentleman that was up for the interim position alongside myself, Brian Smith, and that's getting the PTA and parents and teacher organizations more active. I think that's one of the easiest ways and one of the most ways to get parents more involved in the general goings on of the school district. Beyond those, I want to talk about our community partners. We have a number of community partners, whether it's associations like the Fishing Run, whether it is nonprofit groups that serve the community, whether it's local businesses and business owners. We have a number of them that feel as if, like everything else that has gone on recently in South Kansas City, they're largely ignored by each other. One of the things I want to do is stop basing everything on them coming in and being invited to come see us, and start by reaching out and going out to where they are. We talk about meeting students and parents where they are. We need to meet our community partners the same way. And I say partners for a reason because it needs to be collaborative. I'm committed to, as the course of any time in the term, to creating a community advisory panel that's simply just me meeting quarterly with those local organizations, those local groups and nonprofits, our local unions like the pipe fitters. I wanted to give them a quick shout out. And meeting with those groups and hearing their concerns, but also finding ways for us to collaborate on issues. I think the Ruskin High School theater situation that happened is a sad thing that we could have avoided by simply telling the community more often with communication that's not based
Thank
in
you. Sorry to cut you off.
what.
Byron?
Yes, thank you. Actually, there is a state mandate that we do create a committee that takes in consideration all community partners. And right now, the district has tasked me of working to try to create that committee, which will be driven by the community. In our last meeting, one of the things that we were looking at was what does community engagement look like in 2026? I know in the first meeting we had like 30 participants because it was a hot topic out there. Then it went down to 20, then it went down to 6. So one thing that we noticed is when there's a hot topic, people come out, and once that topic is gone, they disengage. So one thing that I asked that they do last meeting was to create a Zoom link. That way, parents don't have to get their children ready or all that other stuff. They can actually stay home and engage, kind of like back in the day in cable TV, everybody would watch Channel 2 and watch the city do its work. If we could do something like that, that may create some more engagement, or at least inform people what's going on. But first of all, like I said, we have to answer the question: what does community engagement look like? So we had linked there in a number of parents in this last meeting, and we came up with a topic of district.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. April?
I've been helping Byron with his community engagement meetings. And yes, the last meeting was very enlightening. We want to include not only the parents, but the businesses and the community members like home associations and other organizations other than businesses, with service nonprofits as a service to our parents, to where we can be helpful as well as informative.
Thank you. This is a new question. Irene, you're first. What effects will open enrollment have on our school district with a resident student able to become a non-resident student in another public school district if the receiving school district accepts?
Could you kind of repeat that? I'm sorry.
Sure, that's
'Cause I
okay.
was you supposed to ask me the other question first, or because you didn't ask me the other question?
Oh, Irene, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't. Okay, please answer the other question. My finger slipped.
And that was regarding community engagement, correct?
Yes, yes. How will you strengthen the partnership between the school district and parents and other members of the community?
Hey, I believe what we have established is a community engagement committee to ensure that we interact with our community. That's one facet. And then prior to this past year, we were sending out quarterly newsletters to keep the community informed of what was happening in our district. I think now that we're having more communication engagements with our community, uh, as Byron stated, it was a good crowd at first, but then they dwindled down. But we have to be able to continue to engage our parents. Um, as a former president of the PTA at Warford, we ensured that we had meetings with our parents, invited their parents to come to pizza night. We have to do more things to invite our parents out or meet them where they are. So offering a Zoom link and things like that will help as well to keep our community engaged. And then working with our partners, I currently serve on CAC's board. We serve the community in our or surrounding community in Hickman Mills to Center to Raytown to Grandview District. So ensuring that our parents have the resources, our teachers, students have the resources they need for as hygiene products and things like that to ensure that they know that the district and our supporting partners are there to support our district.
Thank you. And you are the first person on the next
Oh,
question. So that question is, what effects will open enrollment have on our school district with a resident student able to become a non-resident student in another public school district if the receiving school district accepts?
I think this could hurt our district with taking resources from our district to support a student in another school district. Um, I'm not for the vouchers or open enrollment. I think it would tear down the public school system. So I think that would not be a great fit for the Hickman Middle School District. I know they have several in Kansas City, but the Hickman Mill School District is a small community and people have lived there for many years and each one of us have grown up in our school district. So we want to continue to keep our school district secure and I just think that vouchers and open enrollment will hinder this public school system.
Thank you. April?
The way I understand the open enrollment is if a child leaves us, so does their funding. Well, if they decide to ever come back, their funding stays at their second place. It doesn't come back to us if they decide to come back to us. So it would be a no-win situation. And I agree with Irene. It would be a detriment to our district. I think
Okay,
it's opening up another can of worms.
thank you. Matthew?
I'm going to be very plain and direct about this. Open enrollment is the largest threat in the last 10 years to public, free at the point of service education. Open enrollment does nothing but devastate small school districts, rural school districts, and districts that seem ironically targeted by those in power. Look, I have no problem with private schools existing. I have no problem with charter schools existing, but public funds belong in public schools. And allowing school districts to pick and choose what students they have, allowing non-resident students to take their money that goes along with their services to other districts is devastating. It doesn't matter how big or how small the population that leaves is, it is always a detriment. I have been open about my opposition to open enrollment. I do not like the new version of their approach to things that they have come up with in the last few weeks, talking about using vacant buildings in school districts as a very clear hit job on those districts that have had to close buildings because they are losing students to other private schools and charter schools. Hickman Mills needs to protect itself, and that is absolutely being in opposition to open enrollment. I do hope that the community understands what this is. It's an attack on the community itself, not just on the school district. Again, you cannot have a great neighborhood if every single person who goes to school in that neighborhood decides to go elsewhere for school. It is a detriment to us all.
Thank you. Byron?
Yes, I agree with everything that everyone said. But one thing that was done, I think it was in 2017, 18, when the district commissioned some experts to look at the district. And it was found that we had a couple of thousand students that live in our district going elsewhere. So this open enrollment will only open it up even further. I mean, we have students using their grandparents, aunties, or whatever to go to school in other districts. So this will just make it more easier to tear down our neighborhoods and reduce the funds for our school. I mean, it's like, I mean, with with the ability to pick and choose who you have, you could, pick the best student from every district, and then next year pick the best students and send the other ones back. I mean, parents have to realize that, once you start picking and choosing, and it's like recruiting in football or basketball or anything else, and at the college level, uh, that scholarship or that uh, entry into that school is not permanent or guaranteed.
Thank you, Evelyn.
Okay.
We can see you.
All right, great. Very good. Very good. I've been reading a little bit about the question that you asked, and I totally agree with the people that has already spoken before me. What does this look like for Hickman Mills? Because I can foresee parents saying, I'm just going to take my kid out, and now the tax dollars are going with them, and there go our community. So, do I agree with this? Absolutely not. I mean, it wouldn't just hurt Hickman Mills, it would hurt other districts as well. And also, I believe that they'll get the opportunity to cherry pick, as Byron had stated earlier, as to, well, I'll take this one, but I don't want this one. And, so I just think they just need to leave that alone. I don't agree with it. Nothing can make me agree with that. And then they can come back without the dollars. This is a part of the reading I hadn't got to. So I thank you guys for keeping me updated on to what's going on. I didn't know the money didn't come back with them. I didn't know that it stayed once they leave. The money stays where they go. So with that being said, Miss McCord, I don't agree with that. I just can't. Sorry.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Byron, the next question is yours. Some of our legislators in Jefferson City are talking about standardizing school board terms to 4 years, requiring candidates to list their political party and changing the elections from April to November. What are your thoughts on these proposed changes?
Well, simply because I am a retired federal employee, that would totally kick me out of this position. I would no longer be able to represent the community or the school district because the Hatch Act doesn't let federal employees become part of participate in partisan politics. So it will reduce the number of qualified candidates. I don't see any good from it. And typically the people that are on the boards are usually part of the dominant political party that the district is in. So to do that is create that just as an extra step or is not necessary. The 4-year terms, I'm not against that, but if you're going to make school districts their own entity, they should be able to create their own rules.
Thank you. April, you're next.
The 4-year term wouldn't be bad, but I believe that if you're representing the kids and the community, it doesn't matter what your political party is. It's where your heart is, where your enthusiasm. Uh, it doesn't matter whether you're red or blue. We all bleed for the children. November voting, I think we would be lost in all the other primaries and all the other elections to where people won't take school boards seriously anymore like having our own time in April.
Okay. Evelyn.
Okay. I am not in agreement with revealing whether I'm a Democrat or a Republican. That is my personal uh, belief as to what I am. And when you start bringing politics into education, where are we going, and why? What difference does it make whether you're a Democrat or Republican? It's like telling the educators in the schools, we need to know whether or not you're a Democrat or a Republican. We need to just leave that out of education, period. The 4-year term is fine. Putting it on the November ballot when there's a lot of things that will be on the November ballot. I'm in agreement with April with that one. It was just like the Board of Education now is like, it doesn't really matter. And with us leaving it on the April ballot gives the community the opportunity to actually seek out great board members opposed to just going in there saying, oh, well, I'll vote here. I got to go in here and vote because it's November. So I just personally believe that we should leave the November ballot alone, and as well as putting political parties on a school board member. That would be a no in my book.
Okay. Thank you. Matthew?
So I think obviously everyone's kind of caught on already that this is just another way to try and limit who can be on the board. Obviously, Mr. Townsend has already spoken about the limitations on federal employees, but it's more insidious than that. A 4-year term now means that a student can guarantee their entire high school career is going to be handled by the same board, but that also means any decisions are going to affect their education. It gives us less chance to make course corrections because we can't hold the people in power accountable. The same goes for revealing political affiliation. I have the same problem with it because it does insert politics into a place it shouldn't be about. If this is about the children, then it doesn't matter what party you belong to. I think many of us are known for our affiliations, but that's really not important to this election, and it's not something we need to bring up here. The other part, of course, is moving it to November. Moving it to November is absolutely the wrong-headed idea. By being in April, it gives us time to finish out the school year for the students as we prepare to get ready for the next school year and make the right decisions for it. Moving it to November means in the middle of the term, you're suddenly dealing with an entirely new administration when it comes to the board leadership concerned. The school district philosophy could change at the drop of a hat right before achievement testing. That's the wrong idea. It's the wrong thing for Missouri. And frankly, the people trying to do it just want to find some other way to control what they feel like they are entitled to. And that's the wrong idea for all of us.
Thank you. Irene?
I would have to agree with everyone regarding establishing your affiliation. That shouldn't have any bearings on how you support the district and provide opportunities for our students. That should not be a factor at all. November, no, it's too cold. Just to be point blank, it's too cold in November. We pray for great weather in April, so I think distinguishing the school board in a different election is best so that people community can actually research the candidate. In a November election, you have so much on the November election so that you may miss something that you wouldn't have known about a candidate. So I think keeping our elections where they are in April and the 4-year term, I don't have a problem with that. But again, as Matthew stated, that, as we change, we get new administration, we get new leaders, and things change. So I think having a steady board for 4 years, you're all working together and establishing one goal.
Thank you. Well, here's a change of pace. And Matthew, you'll be up first. Please tell us about a teacher who inspired your interest in supporting our schools.
I can tell you about 3, but I'll pick one out of them. I'll just give them all 3 a quick shout out. Robert Walker, Jan Davis, and Gloria Henry. Robert Walker and Jan Davis were my music teachers for band from Ingalls Elementary School all the way through Ruskin High School. They've always been there for good advice. But Gloria Henry is very special. I didn't have debate until I got to Ruskin High School. I did 3 years of debate and 1 year of her speech class. She made sure that not only did she turn what was definitely a slightly full of himself, young teenager into a true understander of what argumentation is, of what negotiation is, and absolutely what presentation was. She also made sure I was well supported in my dreams. She made sure I got in touch with the right people when it came time for scholarships. She made sure that I connected with the right people when it came time to look at other schools. If I ever needed a recommendation letter, she was there for me for it. Anytime there was a chance for me to go to a large tournament somewhere outside of Kansas City, he found every way possible to make sure it happened. The same way as both of those people did as well. But I just wanted to give her just all the plaudits in the world, because I could not be an attorney now if it had not been for the way she helped hone my skills in debate, forensics, and mock trial, as well as Model UN back in high school. She has made a lasting impression. I'm proud to say that I can call her a friend even to this day. Just wanted, like I said, I wanted to give her those plaudits. She's not the only one, but those first three come to mind before everybody else does in the school district. And I'm truly blessed to have met them all.
Thank you. April?
I can't remember any particular teacher that stands out in my education, but I know Kim Sixta is an outstanding teacher. She's the teacher of the year. All of her students have said how great she is, and they have even come back years later and said how much of a difference she has made for them. I think she's a great role model for other teachers and for the students themselves to give them something to aspire to.
Thank you. Evelyn?
I knew. Okay. I don't have a teacher per se in mind that anybody would even know here in Kansas City. However, spending 10 years at Ruskin High School, I worked under Jim Tinsley. He was the principal there, and he would always kudo me on, you know, how did you know this? How did you learn this? And why don't you think about doing this? And I'm thinking, no, thank you. But he inspired me a lot to say to me, Mrs. Hildebrand, I value you. I appreciate what you're doing here at Ruskin High School. And I don't know if he's still around or not. That was what, 20 years ago when I worked with Tinsley, as well as the teacher of the year. I worked with her as well. A lot of the scholars in the community speaks very highly of this lady, and they're 38 years old. And I'm thinking, wow, she should really smile to hear that. But I don't have a teacher per se that I can put my hands on that I can even remember back that far. I mean, I'm really telling my age now, but it's okay. I can just give my kudos to Mr. Tinsley at Ruskin High School.
Thank you. Irene?
Well, I don't have a particular teacher for myself, but raising my children, I know my oldest my middle child, she had some struggles, and one of her teachers were able to set up a meeting with us as a parents, and we was able to come up with a strategy to help her move forward in her class studies and provide extra opportunities for her for tutoring options for her as well as extra help in the class. So I've seen now with my three grandchildren that I'm raising, we have a system at Warford where if they see there's two students falling behind or need some extra help, so they have a core team that works with the parent to ensure that they're getting the kids back on track. So I think teachers are instrumental to all students, not just one teacher, but all of them are.
Thank you. Byron?
Okay, like most of us older people that's running for election, I really don't have a teacher per se that that inspired me to be pursue a position on something on the board or anything of this nature. But I did have a couple of teachers and a professor that did influence my thinking and my scholastic career. Mr. Wasser, which was my vocational horticulture teacher, he always put me in leadership roles, and he seen the potential of my leadership, even though I was not a really uh, person, not a person that was, I wanted to be out front a lot. Then I have Mr. Hurdler, which it was my sixth grade teacher, and he taught me how to work with my short-term memory, which helped me a lot with studying for tested exams when I was in college. And then there was my statistic professor at college that told me that, you can make numbers say anything if you ask the correct question.
And I'm going to stop you there, but you're the first person for the next question. Random is random.
Okay.
How will you collaborate with your board peers, both inside and outside of meetings, especially those with whom you do not agree?
That's easy. Yeah, business is business. And I've been a union representative at the Postal Service for nearly 30 years. And that's one of the things that was taught early to me is you don't have to agree with everything that somebody does to come up with a solution. So you can come up with win-win situations, even with people that, you don't particularly hang out with or agree with. And I've been trained that way. So most people, I mean, it's not that many people that I don't like. You could probably count them on one hand, but you would not know who they are by the way I interact with them, because I treat everybody the same. My oldest daughter told me that I told her one time that treat everybody the same because you don't know who your boss may be when you grow up. It sounds like something I would say, but I don't remember saying it. But apparently she heard me say it, and that's kind of my philosophy.
Thank you. April?
I think if you respect all your fellow members and the community, you can work toward a consensus with no matter what the problem is or who you have to confront. I think with respect and working toward a consensus, almost every problem is solvable.
Thank you. Irene?
Sorry, could you repeat your question, please?
Sure. How will you collaborate with your board peers, both inside and outside of meetings, especially those with whom you do not agree?
Well, I've always tried to work with all my board members that I've served on the board with. We may disagree, but we all come together for the good of the children. So that is the main priority. Whatever we need to do for the good of the children and for our district, that is my main goal. No, I may not agree with your perspective, but if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong, and you know where I stand.
Okay, thank you. Matthew?
Well, when I first became an attorney, my mentor, Derek Moorhead, told me, you're not always going to agree with the other lawyers, but remember one thing. It's not you versus them, it's the both of you versus the problem. I apply that to my personal relationship as well as my professional one. It's not about me. It's not about us. And I have to always remind myself that, hey, This person may be responding to you emotionally because they have a passion about what you're working on together. I approach things in the same way. I say, okay, my passion makes me feel this. What's this person's perspective? Why are they disagreeing with my approach to it? And I look at, is the option that I'm presenting the best option? Sometimes you find yourself getting to the real conclusion by having these different perspectives and different solutions. Because again, it is not about us. As board members, we are here to represent the people of the area and the children and parents in the school district. But we need to be looking at all perspectives and options at all times. So that's the way I solve that problem. I don't approach it from a, this is my idea, this is about me. I approach it from a, all right, well, they think differently. So why is it differently? Do they have information I don't have? Let me get educated the same way they are. Let me hear what they have to say about it. I pride myself in not getting into arguments with my fellow colleagues in the legal field, and I will pride myself in doing the same with my colleagues here on the school board should I be elected.
Thank you. Evelyn?
Okay, I've always lived my life according to it's okay to agree to disagree. One thing I can say about corporate America, they trained us well. All the cat and dog fights, we didn't get into those things. You know, it's not about me, 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 me. My idea is right and yours is wrong. So what you want to do is sit down with that individual or individuals to see what you can come up with where everybody gets a better understanding of why things are rolling out the way that they're rolling out. We want to reframe all the disagreements that go on, you know, not just with the Board of Education, just in life general, and have some conversations. It's okay to have a conversation with someone that you really despise to get to know them better, opposed to casting judgment on that individual on what you think they may be like or different things of that nature. So I don't like to argue with people. I just smile. It's just okay to smile. Sometimes you just don't have to say anything. It's just okay not to say anything. Is your opinion always right? Absolutely not. Is mine always right? Absolutely not. But it's okay to have a conversation so that you guys can come up with something to agree on the situation.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This is our last question before our 2-minute final statement. And this question is my favorite. What question do you wish I had asked, and how would you have answered it? And April, you go first.
I don't know what I wished you would have asked. We've all got a heart for the students and the teachers. We want what's best. I think that's kind of sums it up. But having a special question, I think we're all qualified in our own special way. We each bring a different viewpoint to the table. It just shows the variety of the people who want and are willing to help.
Okay. Now, you will have 2 minutes for your final statement, but this, if there's a question that you wish that I had asked, please feel free to share it and your answer. Byron?
All right. I guess the question that I wish you would have asked would be, what uh, what do I think about the actual closing of schools due to budget restraints? And my answer would be, this isn't the first time that we've had this issue. Back in 2018, they closed Johnson and Simonton, and at that time there was a 5.5 million budget deficit, and they hired a company that gave them 4 proposals. and each one of those proposals range closing schools from the number of school closings to be from 2 to 4. Uh, at that point, they chose to create their own fifth plan. Though they weren't experts, they created a fifth plan, and that plan was the plan to close 2. And with a vote of 6-1, that passed. So now we're back in the same situation based on, trying to, saying passing the buck.
I'm sorry, your time is up. Evelyn, your turn.
There's only one thing that I think that I felt I would have liked for you to ask me is how are you explaining to the stakeholders about the bond? Because some of the questions coming out of the community now is how do we know you guys are going to manage this money well that you didn't manage the last time? So that's one of the questions that I wished you would have asked. And my response to them is that, first of all, it's a no tax bond. And I know that's kind of bland for me just to say that like that, and to let them know that if you just follow us a little bit, you can see where the money flow is going to be going. We're going to be putting a lot of money into our schools to upgrade these schools. So hopefully we can get the community to understand the no tax bond and the importance of this bond that needs to pass in April.
Thank you. Matthew?
So I think Mr. Townsend actually was pretty good on the question he asked. I probably would have preferred to ask a bit differently. What do you want to do with the vacant lots and schools that are either closing or need to be closed in the future? My answer to that would be pretty simple. The Economic Development Council, as well as Neighborhood Services, Forrest Decker runs that for Kansas City, Missouri, partnering with them to find uses for, again, the empty lots specifically, to build additional housing in the area that would attract new homeowners, that could increase our tax base as a district, meaning we could have more services available for students and more funds to be able to prevent these future shortfalls. Additionally, with buildings that we do have to, for one reason or another, close, I think finding a much faster process, I won't say quick, but a faster process of getting groups into those buildings, whether those are businesses or non-for-profits, or turning them into civic centers for the purposes of utilizing them, but with reclamation clauses so that if the district needs those buildings back because it's grown in the time since we sold it, we're able to reclaim that building and utilize it until or unless we need to build a truly new facility. I think that would help both the community feel more comfortable with the district, but also bring new people into the area. And that ultimately is what we're looking to do, make the district a proud place to live and be in. And you can't have great neighborhoods without having great schools.
Thank you. Irene?
Well, I guess I would maybe what motivates me to serve on the Hickman Middle School Board would have been a question I would have loved to have answered. As a parent, grandparent, and a former member of the Hickman Middle School District, I think my motivation is to be able to serve not only my grandchildren, but all children in the Hickman Middle School District, to provide them with opportunities outside of college, provide other opportunities like trade schools. Currently, we have the TNL Welding School. We have our Real World Learning Center. Providing students with more opportunities like that will be is motivates me to continue to serve on this board, along with raising my 3 grandchildren and being proud of being an alumni of Hickman Middle School District.
Thank you. Candidates, it's now time for your 2-minute closing remarks. I want to personally thank you for joining us. In addition, I'd like to ask that you share the League's website with your voters and encourage all citizens to show up each election day and exercise their right to vote. Now, for the candidates' closing remarks, Matthew, we'll start with you.
All right. Well, as folks may have seen in some of my advertisements, my slogan is restoring our legacy and securing our future. My goal in running for the school board is not to manage decline. It's not to stem the tide. It is to literally put us in a position for long-term growth. That means long-term planning. That means long-term solutions, but that means short-term goal setting and milestones along that path. Look, I don't come to this because I have children in the school district. I'm not a parent. I'm a concerned citizen. I'm a concerned graduate. I'm an alumni that feels often abandoned by the district that he loves so much. And I'm doing this for those students that are in my same position that look up in their high school and say, I want to do something bigger, and I hope I can be supported for it. So I want to make that support real for those same students. For me, I have looked at everything from how we handle long-term planning, how we negotiate with other political groups, how we engage with our stakeholders and community partners, but also how we fix the future to make a positive change on the community around us. My goal is always to make this district bigger and better. That means everything from getting Hickman Mills High School to being a high school again, not a middle school. That means growing our tax base so that we have a need for additional schools in the district instead of constantly contracting. That means developing new leaders to be our new teachers, our new administrators, our new staff, and even new board members in the future. Because it cannot be about us simply being here. It has to be about us planning for who will follow us. My entire goal in this process is to make sure that I spend the 3 years of my term helping develop the future of the district. Again, I say, vote for me on April 7th, 2026, because I am here to restore our legacy and secure our future in the best way possible. Look, I'm a Ruskin High School graduate. I love this school district. I bleed blue and gold, and I always have. And I promise you, that is all my goal is here. It's not about me, it's about all of us.
Thank you. Irene?
Yes. What was the question? I'm sorry.
Oh, the
Got
question, this is your 2-minute summary.
2 minute summary.
Uh-huh.
I'm Irene Kendrick. I've served on the Hickman Mill School Board since 2020. I've been very active in my community. I support our teachers. I support our staff. I ensure that our students have the materials they need to succeed, providing them with additional opportunities for us, like the trade school and TNL welding, other opportunities. My goal is to empower all students to know that they are a great generation. And I ask for your vote on April the 7th because I have the experience, I have the leadership skills. I currently serve as alderwoman for Grandview. I'm also the treasurer of the VFW, along with the vice president of CAC. So I'm very active in my community, and I want to ensure that everyone in our community have the resources they need, our students have what they need, and our staff and teachers have the materials and things that they would need to be able to advance our students forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Evelyn?
Thank you. My name is Evelyn Hildebrand, and again, I served on the school board 2016, 2019, and I decided to go back into the schools to give, some more assistance in the schools because there was a great need for educators at that time. I decided to run for the school board again after seeing this huge deficit that we were in. And to me, if we don't get out of the deficit, we will lose more students. So I'm thinking, what can I do to impact and let people know we are headed in the right direction? Hickman Mills is I'm just fine. I'm rooted in Hickman Mills. My kids graduated from Ruskin High School as well, and I can choose to go to other schools to work, but it's like a magnet. Just keeps saying, no, you got to go to Hickman Mills. You got to go to Hickman Mills. So I'm in the schools every day. Do I know more than other people? Absolutely not. But I feel like I can impact by sharing information and ideas with other board members as to why we should do things this way and why we should do things that way. I'm asking for your vote April 7th. And I continue to promote the vote. And I think we have some great candidates that are running for this board. So, with that being said, I won't give up on Hickman Mills. This is my community, and I need to figure out a way to make developers want to come into our community to restore our community again and get some of these homeschoolers in our schools. With that being said, I'm asking for your vote on April 7th. Thank you.
Thank you. April?
My name is April Cushing, and like Evelyn, I've been on the board before. I have a heart for the students and the teachers, and I just want to be able to help. I have no other aspirations to use this as a stepping stone to go someplace else. I think this is the most important job there is, taking care of our students and taking care of our community and working together, all of us, for a better future. Vote early. Voting has already started, but be sure by April 7th you vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Byron?
Yes, thank you. First of all, there's a lot of catchphrases that go along with running for office and working in the public. And one of the things that people say a lot is transparency. They want transparency. Well, transparency without clarity is leaving the people open to interpret things the way they want to, and they may not correctly interpret those things. One example that I used with the group was I said, my glasses are transparent. If I give them to somebody else, even though they're transparent, there's no clarity. So just giving people a whole bunch of information doesn't help with issues. Say our just one example would be our deficit. We have a growing deficit. It started at 11.9 million and it's growing. Well, 11 million of that was because of a overestimate of revenue. Just giving out a deficit number gives transparency, but the clarity is 11 million of that was somebody overestimated how much money we were going to get. I mean, there's no missing money, but that's what clarity is. It tells people what's really going on. Also, I would like to mention that we have hired Block to go in and check and see what the interest is on our vacant lots. So we are in the process of that.
Thank you very much. Thank you, candidates. This was wonderful. Now I'm going to turn things back over to Anita.
Thank you, audience, for your interest in the April 7th election. A recording of this forum is available on the League's website, lwvkc.org. Please take a moment to share the insights you've received from these candidates with your neighbors and share the availability of this forum on your Facebook or neighborhood channels. And remember, for voting and candidate information, visit lwvkc.org and vote411.org. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Candidates, you're welcome to leave the forum at this time.
Thank you.